Power 93.7, WBLK, the People Station. If you don't know, it's your boy Still About Money, plugging you into another edition of the 716 Spotlight. Oh, man. And this man right here, I seen him twice, all right? I seen him at Open Up for Ludacris, and I seen him a week ago at the Anti-Venue show, which was Conway the Machine and Westside Boogie. I was co-hosting that thing. And this man, little rock star right here on the low, all right? The one and the only, Billie E. What up with you, boy?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Thanks for coming out here.
No, I appreciate you for
Put
having
me
me.
in your schedule. I know you're busy. I know you're busy.
As Joy says, it's kind of early for us. You know, this rock star life get to us. So
living that studio life, huh?
Yeah, nah, honestly, for me, I'm going to keep it a buck. I don't really do the studio unless I need to. I only go there to get stuff done and I'm out. But I got design clothes. I do a lot of design work. So I be up late night working on clothes, printing t-shirts, doing a bunch of other stuff. So we just be
working.
Yeah, just working.
Grinding.
Yeah, just grinding. Grinding, period.
Now tell the people who don't know, who is Billie E?
Man, Billie E is a man of many names, first and foremost. For the people of Buffalo, I go by I guess my neighborhood name is Busy. You feel me? Busy B. That go back to when I was a shorty.
Now what's the neighborhood? Where you from?
I'm from Uptown.
Okay.
Uptown, East Side, New York. You feel me? East Side, Buffalo, New York. And I grew up there my whole life. And basically, like, Busy was my nickname. Then I started making music in 2005. So fast forward to 2010, I go to college. Facebook comes around. So my name was like Chase De Niro on Facebook, just like some play name. And people started noticing me for my music back then. So the name Chase De Niro stuck. So I put out a mixtape called The Chase. And then shortly after that, I just went through a whole life change. And like I went through an epiphany, and the word, like the name Chase De Niro just sounded cheesy. Like the chasing money aspect just wasn't fulfilling. So thus Billie E came about.
Well, I always say chase the dream, not the money.
You feel me?
And my friend, you definitely chasing the dream right now.
Definitely.
Seeing you do your thing on that stage, you're meant to be there, all right?
Definitely, man.
Now, how has Uptown, the East Side, kind of molded you as an artist?
Man, well, first and foremost, it gives me my background, my backbone. Like it gives me my structure of who I am, how I dress. And it's all because of the things that I learned and the things that wasn't there to learn. So I had to go figure them out some other place. So when I started traveling a lot, that's when I really started to appreciate Buffalo more, because I started hanging around in LA and New York and Atlanta, and I would see these cultures that would be, presented in a national scale, and I would see somebody that reminded me somebody of Buffalo. And then I would see like how different and eclectic people from Buffalo actually are.
Right.
The city doesn't harbor its energy properly, but like the actual energy, the talent in the city is like a thing that's one of a kind. So Uptown really, like, even my Instagram name is Uptown Chase. Like I carry that wherever I go. Like people know I'm from Buffalo.
What kind of molded you into who you are now as far as the artist? Because I've seen a lot of guys do hip hop. I've seen a lot of people touch the stage. You have your own energy, your own mojo, so to speak.
Appreciate that.
What helped put you in that zone?
A lot of different things, a lot of different training in the different realms. I would say like 36 chambers. Like I really was in different chambers. So I went to college. I graduated. I got 2 degrees. So like I
Say that again. Say that again.
I went to college. You feel me? After high school, I wasn't on a 9-to-5 wave. I hated that. So I went to school to really do something else, so I studied psychology, and then I got my background in fashion design.
I like that.
So that was one realm. I started, being around people from New York, being around people from Atlanta, being able to like go into their culture instead of just witnessing and seeing it. Man,
they put you in the game.
Yeah,
being on the sideline.
Yeah, you feel me? And then just like a bunch of stuff, like the lack of, fashion outlets that we have here, as far as like, clothing stores. So I had to like get my style, really like develop it. I had to like really go research. So a lot of things that I was doing kind of cultivated me to get here to this point. I've been doing this since 2005. So it's really like I've been on the stage since 2005. Like my first show I was 14. You feel me?
You started young.
Yeah, I started young, but I didn't even know. I didn't really want to, like, music was there. Like I didn't necessarily want to make music. I always wanted to like make some sneakers, open up a store, something like that. Yeah. I didn't even care about music until it kept forcing itself back on me. You feel me? So at points in my life, it was all I had left. And it was like, you can either go and try to do something else, or you could focus on what you really meant for. So when I started really noticing that, it was like, bro, I'm just now really getting into the rapper way. Like,
spreading your
you feel
wings
me?
a little bit.
But I've done everything a rapper does after he gets his deal and stuff. But for me, it wasn't enough. I was seeing a bigger picture, like, you feel me? So just watching people like Kanye, like, he's a big inspiration in the form of an artist, you feel me? Right. Every aspect of an artist, you know, besides his personal stuff. You know, I never looked at his personal and judge. I always see what your artistry is. So even just witnessing like different artists from different genres, Currency, Wiz Khalifa, to like the Mac Millers, to then, you know, the Conways. I've been watching Benny since I was 15, 16. So like just really paying attention to everything, being in these cities, really like looking at things and then realizing I'm from Buffalo. So I'm not like nobody else.
Yeah.
So once I realized that, it was like, okay, take your, like you said, your DNA, take that to the masses. And that's why, like, I think my shows is like that. My energy is like that when I perform, when I make music, because I'm a chill, monotone person in life. But
not on that stage, you know.
Yeah,
nah. Not on that.
You turn into a different person.
You had me ready to mosh pit, brother. I'm like, hey, where we at?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So it's just like a cultivation of life. Like, for real, just learning things throughout life and being like, what's the word? Just being aware enough to actually hone in on them and then like do something about it.
So in other words, you're woke. You ain't sleep. You're woke.
Yeah.
Got your third eye open.
Yeah, highly. You feel me? Very highly. You feel me?
We got you here because of your song Function, which is dope. I seen you perform this joint twice. How did that song come about?
Well, this is where my boy Droid come in. So honestly, we've been having a working relationship for like a year now. And like Droid, this is the thing about Buffalo. We got talent from so many different places.
Absolutely.
Like Droid, and he ain't gonna say, I'm gonna say it, like Droid produced like K-pop records. He got platinum plaques.
Okay.
In multiple different genres. So like when we linked up, he brought an aspect of me that I hadn't had. Like I work with a close producer, my best friend, Mitch Arizona. So me and him been rocking. Yeah, Mitch is like a musical genius, you feel me? He actually like used to DJ up here when he was like 14. Like, you feel me? As K Show. So like we do a lot of different genres together, different music. But when I linked with Droid, he brought this like bigger sound to it. He was able to bring this like, not pop, but just like this
more the masses.
Yeah,
type of
it's
feel.
like a masses energy. Like this is something that we could like super party to. This is something that is just like a little bit different. It takes me out of my element of having to create like conceptual records where I'm like witty and it's concepts. Like I was able to just, you know, talk about my yesterday experience.
To have fun with it.
Yeah, you know, so that's really how it came about. Like, yeah, man, we just came to the studio one day. I think that was like my first time.
Yeah, because we was trying to link for like a whole year, maybe.
Yeah.
For real. So that was like our first time in there. Cooked that joint up from scratch. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, and
that's what's up.
It took like, literally, this is the crazy part. Literally, I had to go scoop my mom from work at 4 o'clock. It was 3:20 when he played the beat. Literally. And I heard it and he had a hook on there already. And I'm like, yo, we should just say this. And then I just wrote a verse real fast because I had to dip. And then like he sent the record. It was the first record we did. So I'm talking about like I was very low on some vocal tracks. Like it was real quick. He sent me the record and that what you hearing is like literally the only time we've ever recorded. It's one take.
Damn.
And it's like he sent it back and I'm like, what? This how I sound? Oh my God.
Magic.
Yeah. And it was like, okay, we got something here. Right. We got something. So yeah, man, that's how that came about.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
Now being from Uptown, what from your childhood kind of molded you into the artist you are today?
Man, I would say like honestly just the street life, but not what people think about, just the violence. Like Buffalo has a very strong connotation of being violent on the east side. And it is sometimes, you know, but it's violent Island, a lot of places. But what people don't mention is how much culture is cultivated from the East Side. Like when you think about just people who made it out of Buffalo, is a lot of people that actually came from the East Side more than it is any other place in Buffalo. And then on top of that, just like the culture within the street. Like when I was a kid, Jamboree was like a thing.
Now, what is Jamboree for people who don't know what that
Jamboree is? Jamboree was just Jamboree was like a concert, a fashion show, a drill. It was everything. And like every kid, if you ain't was up there with a FUBU suit on, some platinum FUBU, you was not nothing. You feel me? The Juneteenth, the Drillorama, the Gus Macker. These was like cultural events. And then even when I got older, like the town ballroom, like just places that we was able to meet as a culture and be like, yo, this is how we are. You know, because a lot of times like we don't get together and be able to celebrate who we are. You know, we kind of pick and choose when we do and who we do it with. But if you look at Buffalo from a whole, like, and you celebrate the culture that was, like, I remember Bailey used to be a, like, car show. Every day, people would go down the street with 30-inch rims on minivans. Like, you know, I seen 24-inch rims on an ATV. Literally in 31. Like, it's literally people that were, like, living what we celebrate, you know, from like rappers and artists, but it was happening here and nobody knew. And I think that when I started to really go back to those, you know, times, and I've been privileged enough to be around a lot of people, you know, a lot of real people, and I got a lot of, you know, people that know me. So it's good to be able to like look back and say that's what really made me. Like, yeah, that really helped. Because when I got older, I was seeing this stuff and I'm like, bro, I've been around this. So this is like, what y'all doing is nothing new. And I actually seen real people do it from a real place, not because they seen it on the internet. Yeah. And they like, oh, this is what it is. It's like, I seen that when we didn't even know what it was. Right. You know what I mean? So I think that's what one of the main things was, just like the history. Feel me? The history of Buffalo is like what I kind of am living through now. You know what I mean?
That's super dope.
Yeah, man.
Now, what about the project? What's the next upcoming project? Where can we find Function at?
All right, so this is how it works. All right, so I'm one of those artists that drop like weird. So I drop like every 2 years, right? In the past, because it's like I lived through my life, you know, through these records. So, you know, it goes back from the B Word, Avant Garde, and then Gallery, which was released in 2016. And then we just released a project in June called Cafe. So that's like the album. You know, I encourage everybody that if you want to know who Billie Esco is, you go listen to Cafe.
Where can they get Cafe at?
Anywhere. Tidal, iTunes, SoundCloud. You can go on www.cafeseason. That's CAFECZEN.com. That's my personal website. You can go there and check it out as well. Any streaming app is up on there. YouTube, all that. Wow. Now the next project is called Summer's Over. Honestly, this is like the first time we even talking about it. Like I thought about it.
I like exclusive stuff.
Yeah.
This
is very exclusive. Yeah. So basically, I had planned to do this last year, but it was different songs. It was just the concept of it, and it was called Before the Summer's Over. So a lot of stuff happened last year that it just didn't let me do it. So we go to this year, we drop Cafe. Finally, the summer's over, things are rolling right. So we're gonna put this out next Friday.
Now, what's the vibe of the summer's over?
I'm not gonna lie.
Because the summer is officially over.
Right.
It's kind of cold today.
And it's like a recap of the highlights of the summer. And honestly, when you hear most of my previous albums, you'll hear like my, I guess, style, and it's like very like hip hop. Like I rap, like I really spit.
Yeah, real hip hop. It's not the ABC stuff that be out here now.
It got some flow though. Yeah. Don't get it twisted. I got the flows too. Got the flows, the waves, all that. But with this one, this is straight up, no concept, having fun, just good.
Like radio friendly.
Yeah, it's good records. Like we got records that's like, you know, Function. We got the follow-up called After Party. Then we got a song called New York Minute, where it literally sound like the Jay-Z and Maya song from like 2001, whatever, you feel me? Like, so we got a different plethora of records on here that just fits for like a recap to just be like the celebration, a step outside of like this narrative that I'm running with. Because like all my albums follow this narrative, you feel me? And it has like a
all flow together.
Yeah, all has a storyline. So and it all goes with one storyline. But Summer's Over is literally like us having fun. Like my first time being a rapper in a while. Air quotations.
He doing them quotes.
Yeah, because it's like, you know,
a rapper,
you know, air quotes, you know, because I just say like I'm an artist. It's whatever, you know, I'm a rapper, I'm an artist and all that. But I think that, you know, rappers rap every day. They drop music like I'm more of an artist because I drop ideals over different mediums. So whether it's fashion, whether it's clothes, graphic design, music, you feel me? And
you got
like,
your hand in everything.
Yeah, just a little bit of everything that's like creative, you feel me? So
that's super dope.
Yeah, Summer's Over that joint gonna be a vibe though. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, the summer's officially over.
Summer's over.
I'm gonna make sure we update this and try to throw that in the blog for you. Now, what does Billie Esco bring to the game that we lacking right now?
So I think that I'm the bridge between, and I'm not the only bridge, but I'm a bridge between the younger generation and the older generation. Because I was doing it a little bit before the younger generation, but I was raised by the older generation. And I think that is a big disconnect within hip hop and just like
and life in general.
Yeah, I was about to say.
OGs gone, they locked up or dead.
Yeah.
So a lot of young ones that came up, I feel like they ain't had no leadership.
They did.
They're a little different than us. I like to
you
think.
got
You know what I'm
you
saying?
gotta understand. Like after like I was born in '90, so it's like after I would say like '95. So you gotta think fast forward 2005, 2000. No, I would say like 2008. That's when a lot of like younger people of now was coming into age, and a lot of OGs was locked up by then. Feel me? Because they swept up a lot of things between like 06, 07, 08. So I think that they lost connection because like the older dudes wasn't really trying to show the younger, like they wasn't giving game all the way. They was more so like you gotta pay for game too. You feel me?
They was trying to use the young boy.
Yeah, you feel me? So some people, you know, like me, was blessed with like OGs to be able to see what it's like before all the glitz and the glamour and what it really takes to be a man. At the same time, as far as music, aside from just like that connection, I think that because I've been able to hone my musical craft over different like hip hop periods.
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Like I came up in the Dipset era of making music. So when I was like 15, I'm talking about guns and stuff. And like I seen it, but I'm not busting guns, bro. Like, you feel me? Like I'm not doing that on the daily, you know. But then it transitioned, and Currency was a big influence on me because he showed me how to just talk about your lifestyle. And that changed everything. So I was able to make music when the Mac Millers, the Big Crits, the early internet era started to come about. And then we go into the Rockies, the Weekends, the Frank Oceans. So I was learning a lot more about music. I was challenging my musical skills, putting out conceptual, cohesive albums. So I had training. You feel me? So I think that a lot of people that's coming up now, they don't have that proper training. They just doing it for they got the gusto in them, and they, you know, some people is like they make it happen, you know, they make it work. Some people just get that energy and they run with it. I've been tried and tested through this, so it's like, man, I've been in a chamber just working forever. So now when you see me, you seeing a full concept, like you seeing what it looks like when it's something is like well-rounded.
And that's dope because I definitely think you definitely get that energy when they see you perform.
Yeah.
Like I said, I seen a little bit of everybody. You know what I'm saying? You get a different vibe, which is special. So I like the path you on. That's why you up here. Next 2 weeks, man, it's all about you, man.
Appreciate
front
that,
page
man.
of the app, front page of the website.
That's lit.
Tell the people where they can find you on social media too.
All right, so we got Uptown Chase. That's my Instagram. That's like my main hub of things. You want to reach me, come to Uptown Chase. It's one word, no underscores and none of that. That's the best place. Then you got Twitter, which is Chase De Niro. De Niro spelled D-I-N-E-R-O. Feel me? You got the website www.cafeseason. Season is spelled CZEN.com. So that's my main website. I designed it too. So if you need website work, holla at me.
Free plug.
You
free
feel
plug.
me? Shameless plug. But yeah, Instagram, and then you could just Google me, Billy Esco. That's Esco with 2 S's. I'm not Nas. Shout out to Nas. Because I got, like, the name is derived from, a part of it is derived from Nas. You feel me? A part of it.
Paying homage to the
Yeah, just paying homage to the 90s cultures and, like, Esco. You know, Esco got Escobar, all that, but I think, you know, Esco, Nas was just the epitome of like a 90s artist that was like me. He didn't, like, short stature, you don't really know what he coming with, but when he starts spitting, it's like he could change the world. You feel me? So yeah, Billy Esco on YouTube and all that, and yeah,
I like it, man. We gonna have to do part 1 of this because I feel like you're gonna be up here again.
Yo.
And I feel like we're gonna revisit. There's a lot to Billy Esco we gotta unravel.
Yeah,
here.
that's a fact.
But
We
I
could do
appreciate
interviews
you
for days.
taking that time to come up here. Yeah, because I feel like that. Because we could keep going. We could keep going, but I don't know if we had the budget for that.
I feel you. But no, I appreciate you for having me up here. This means a lot for all the low kids. You know, I'm a representative of the city of Buffalo. So, you know, we fought to get on this station. I remember, like, before Big Rob used to DJ our parties, you feel me? And, like, Wire used to go to, like, our parties, and I used to come to his parties when he, like, 15, 16, 17, tearing up the, you feel me? Who is Wire? And this is young boy. Just so it's a beautiful thing to see, you know, the city actually being represented in its, like, main outlets. You feel me? Because for so long they try to act like we wasn't here, and it's
Absolutely.
like we the ones who really here. So I appreciate you for having me up here, and I hope that I do enough to get back up here for real.
I feel like this is just the beginning for you. The thing here with Power now is the fact that we behind the city and we behind the scene here musically.
Yeah, facts.
So we
I see
supporting y'all, and we're gonna do whatever we can to help y'all get where y'all need to be.
Appreciate
Because you, my friend, are a star, all right?
I appreciate
the next
that,
2
bro.
weeks, right? It's all about this man, Billy Esco. I'm gonna meet y'all again, in 2 weeks? 2 weeks. Billy
2 weeks.
Esco, project one more time.
Cafe is out everywhere in the world right now. Go listen to that. Go listen to my whole discography. Summer's Over is coming soon. Shout out First Class, Ooze Gang, everybody I love, Good Neighbors Club.
Bang. Well, so still about money. Here's my last 2 cents, all right? Chase the dream, not the money. Dream it, believe it, put God first and achieve it. You know the
did.
steal. Mama on the radio.